Well, we have another episode of Mr. Big Mouth. This is our, I don't know what number, episode 15, 16, 17. I have no idea. I have a wonderful guest. I've been working with this guest for quite some time. Her name is Dr. Nancy Lentine. Say hello, Dr. Nancy.
Well, hello there.
Hello.
Hi.
Tell everyone what you do.
All right. So I'm a family practice integrative physician. So what that means is I practice traditional family medicine, but I also incorporate vitamins, nutrition into my practice.
You incorporate vitamins and nutrition. Now, as a layperson, isn't that something that should naturally be in the whole health and wellness process? You would think.
Yes, you would think. You would think that healthcare is all about health.
Sure.
But really, it's about sickness. It's when you get sick and you give them a drug and that's about it and call it a day.
That's it.
But what we do is we look at, well, why does somebody have high blood pressure or high cholesterol? And then we try to dive deep into how we can reverse it.
So root causes, is that the key word we're looking for here?
Yeah.
But you're trying a preventative thing. You're trying to keep somebody healthy, not patch it up after the fact.
Correct. But if it does happen, then, then we can address that as well. But yes, if you come in, you have no health problems, we want to keep you healthy.
Want to keep you healthy. So let me ask you a question. What is a common sickness that you see coming into your office, something that kind of in general people are dealing with?
A common thing is hormone imbalance.
Hormone imbalance. What is that exactly?
So if it's a female, we're talking about PMS, we're talking about perimenopause, postmenopause. Male is andropause. You guys lose testosterone too as you get older.
Yes, we do.
And so we see a lot of that as well.
So the testosterone, that has a ripple effect on other parts of your health.
Yes, it does.
For example, myself, I just turned 50, okay? And I know what you mean by the hormone. You did that extra, that push, that oomph. All right. That's in itself annoying. I'll just use a simple word there. It's really annoying. You're like, I don't got that second drive, that push to go next time. But what else could that affect down the line outside of just energy and being fatigued and so forth?
Well, testosterone's involved with our muscles. And so, yes, that's what the guys are always going, I'm not as strong as I used to be.
Sure.
And then, yes, it has a ripple effect. So your heart is a muscle. So we know.
You never think of it like that.
Yeah. So we know that when men have low testosterone, it can affect heart function.
Sure.
And there's lots of studies that men with congestive heart failure, if you put them on testosterone, it actually improves their heart function. So that's one little avenue.
Interesting. I'm going to bounce around during this conversation.
Okay, cool.
All right. Because I had one question. I thought about it last night, and I think it's very interesting. When was the first time you realized you wanted to be a doctor? Like what?
Okay.
Do you remember that moment?
Right. I do.
What is it?
I do. So I was 15 years old.
Okay.
And I had a cousin who had heart disease, congenital heart and lung disease. And she passed away.
Oof.
And on her deathbed, I said, you know what? I'm going to, actually, that was probably before that. No, I'm going to take that back. It was when she was sick. And I said I was going to be a doctor to take care of her. I wanted to take care of her. But she didn't make it. She died at 17.
Oh, my Lord. Wow.
Yeah.
That is a traumatic reason to sign on.
Yeah.
It's amazing how I had another guest in here a couple of weeks ago talking about generally the same thing, how traumatic experiences trigger that.
Yeah.
Right? Like I have my own business because I witnessed 9/11. And for me, it was like, hey, maybe I don't know how much longer do I have time to do this. I might as well do what I want to do.
Do it now.
Do it now, right?
Do it
and then
now.
you have that doctor. And then from there on in, you were locked in, right? So
Yeah.
you knew exactly you were going to where did you go to school to?
I went to school in Kansas City.
Okay.
I went to undergrad in Philadelphia, LaSalle,
Okay.
now university. Then went out to Kansas City, and then to get my DO degree, and then down to Dallas, Fort Worth for my internship and residency.
Wow. And then you end up, but you're from Jersey.
I'm from here. I'm from Jersey, and I got homesick, had to come home.
Yeah. Now, if you don't know, her practice is in Little Falls, New Jersey.
Yes.
Little Falls. Okay. So and how long have you had the practice?
27 years.
Wow. Wow.
1998.
That is crazy. And over
Yeah.
those 27 years, it's amazing. And with your business and any business for that matter, that's around that long, you see generations come through your
I
office,
do.
right?
I do. And, like, I feel like I'm dating myself now that I had kids coming to me and now they're adults and they're married and they have their own family. So,
It's crazy,
yeah,
right? Yeah. You're like, wow.
But that's what I love about family practice. That's what's so cool about
Yeah, it's
whole-
personal. It's
Mhm.
you're their doctor. It's
Yeah.
a little more intimate than that, than being able to take care of them.
Mhm.
All right, so we were talking about hormones. I'm going to bounce back to the practice now.
Okay.
All right. Besides that, what else do you do there? Specialized stuff that you do at the office?
So we do IV vitamin nutrition. So let's say someone's like constantly fatigued and they're tired or they're always getting sick. We have IVs to help boost their immune system. Or
Vitamins,
let's
again.
say they're sick. They're vomiting, throwing up, diarrhea. They can't keep anything down. We have a hydration IV. What else do we do? We do let's say someone's trying to lose weight and they want to gain muscle. So we have injections for that.
Really?
So it kind of tailors to, the illness.
You never think of a vitamin IV, right?
No, right?
You don't.
You don't.
I'll be honest with
Yeah.
you. The only time I ever hear it really a lot is for hangovers. They're like, oh, we need a
Right,
hydration IV, right?
Yep,
Like, so the
yes,
youngins are kind of like, yeah, go and I get an IV, but you
Yeah.
never think of, hey, let me go for a preventative.
Mhm.
And you could use this in a preventative way, right?
Sure,
like on a
absolutely.
quarterly or monthly
Mhm.
basis.
Yeah.
How often? I mean, I guess it varies per person, but in general, if you're doing preventative, how would you use the IV therapy?
Probably
for
like
that?
weekly.
Weekly,
Usually
really.
weekly, yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. And now, is that something that's covered by insurance, or they pay? It's a cash
No,
thing?
God forbid. God forbid if anything gets covered by the insurance. Vitamins, anything, towards health. No.
Yeah,
It's not
If you don't know,
covered.
Dr. Nancy, not a big fan of insurance. I mean, it's part of the industry, but this is why I love.
There's a time and place, right? There's a time and place for it.
Listen, in theory, it makes great sense, right? Somebody can't afford these expensive procedures or whatever, and that's what
Yes.
they're there for. But it's
Yes.
turned into a little bit more than that.
Yes,
Yes, it's become
unfortunately.
an industry in and of itself.
Yes.
To kind of, I've had friends that are like, pharmaceutical reps and everything, and it's really done in a military style too.
Yeah.
They lock in on a zone and they go after it really, really hard. And I
They
guess
do.
that's what turns off a lot of people. But I love what you do is that you do preventative, that you're looking for the root cause. I mean, let's just say in the last 5 years, right? With COVID, perfect example. Everyone was talking about this, that, and the other thing. And my focus was always, I was taking vitamin C like they were
Good.
good.
All
Like,
right.
you know what I'm saying? Because I had my whole life, thank God my mother, that's the one thing she instilled, not one thing, but one of the many things she instilled in me was take vitamins. And it stayed with me. And
That's good.
I've been healthy and everything, so I can attest to like preventative work. You don't need to wait until you're sick to go get it.
But
all
we
right.
did very well during COVID. I mean, knock on wood, we only lost a few patients because my patients knew about the zinc, they knew about the vitamin C, they knew about the vitamin D. I mean, everything that they started preaching, once COVID hit.
Yeah.
And patients were coming in for IV infusions, and we did, very well. Like,
Yeah.
we didn't lose very many patients compared to my colleagues who
just-
lost hundreds.
Really?
Yeah, and
Wow.
we lost 5, among the 3 of us.
And not that it matters or anything, with the older people or any.
They were like middle-aged. They
Okay.
were middle-aged, and they had other exactly.
yeah.
And they came
was-
in too late.
Yeah.
When it was already full blown. It was too late.
That's the thing with getting old. You get stubborn too, and you're like, I
Yeah.
don't want to go get help. I don't
Yes.
want to do this,
Well,
But
and there was a big scare. Nobody wanted to go to the doctor. Nobody wanted to go to the emergency room. You got admitted
Yeah.
into the hospital. It was like a death sentence.
sure.
So, I got that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we kept trying to keep him out of the hospital.
Keep them healthy, right? And yeah, the body is an amazing thing, and obviously you
It
know that
is.
it correct me if I'm wrong, but it will correct itself if you keep it tuned up. Like
Right.
it's
You
a
got to give it
machine.
the right nutrients.
Correct, right? You
It's
feed
like
it.
putting bad fuel in a car. It doesn't work,
That's right.
Or, you don't fertilize that soil for your plant.
Yeah, exactly.
So you just have to give it the building blocks it needs so it can function.
Now, do you get what people that because of the way you practice and you're kind of on the preventative end and on kind of repairing after the fact? Do you have like newer patients come in and maybe get kind of turned off by that? Do you see that some people are very like, well, no, if I can't take this drug, then that's the way, I feel more comfortable taking drugs. Do you confront that with a lot of people?
Sometimes. Patients come to me for my point of view.
Okay.
But yes, of course, we have patients that are like, just give me that medication, that's it. Or just give me that one vitamin. I'm not taking like 5 vitamins. So, I work with them. You know, it's a partnership. My
Truthfully.
practice is a partnership. We sit and we talk with a concept, right?
Like, what are you doing with your life that you're
yeah.
like this? Exactly. It's crazy. And I've been a big proponent of always saying this, and it's so true. Stress.
Stress is a huge thing.
A huge thing. And I was just reading something, one of the journals was saying that is really the overlying effect.
Oh my God,
it triggers a lot of stuff.
Absolutely.
Because your body is in a constant state of like this, right? So it never can
And it was not made to do that.
No.
Like think about caveman time. Our genes have not changed for thousands of years. So when we're in a constant state of stress, the body breaks down
easily. Right, and you try to, and when you try to explain that to stressed people, that stresses them out even more, and they're like, "Oh
right.
man,"
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
but it's the truth, and that's why, like, I always breathe, calm down,
Absolutely.
And I remember the first time I turned 40, I was driving down Route 21 by the Belleville area, and I had my first panic attack. And
it's pretty scary.
It is scary.
Yeah.
It's wild. I mean, luckily, being in business for myself for a while, not having health insurance, I've learned to listen to my body better.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? And at first you think it's a heart attack.
Yeah.
You're like, this is
Yeah.
it. But then I'm like, wait, I don't feel the pain going down my arm. And wait, I just can't breathe. So I just pulled over and I'm like, breathe. And then it went away.
Yeah.
And it was like wild, but it really scares the crap out of you.
It does. It really does. I know. I remember when I had mine.
Yeah,
It's the same story. Like, all right, I know what this is. I know it's not my heart.
Yeah.
But yeah, for some people who don't know,
Forget about it.
It could be scary, and they end up in the emergency room because of that, which is understandable.
No, another thing that causes that sometimes, just a funny story. My grandfather lives in Italy, right? About 2007, 2008, we get a phone call. Your grandfather's in the hospital. Think it's a heart attack. Da 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 da. Me and my sister, we pick up like, well, this is it. We got to go see him. It's during the holidays, Christmas. Do all of this, we get out, we sit down, we get to the hospital in Molfetta, Italy, and we sit down with the doctor, and he's like, yeah, he had bad gas. I go, oh, all right, well, now we got a nice trip to Italy.
There you go.
But stuff like that, you don't know what it is,
No.
right? It freaks you the hell out, which could trigger something else, right?
Yeah.
You get the nerves going and everything else. All right.
Your mind just goes. It starts. You think of the worst always.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, my wife is guilty of this, and I know other people that are guilty of hypochondria. You bang your finger, you're like, is that cancer? You're like, come on, man, it's not that bad. Calm down. Don't go too far with it. Okay. So besides the IV therapies that you do at the office, what else do you offer?
What else do we offer? I don't know. We do typical stuff like we do, colds, flus. That's a lot, especially now this time of year.
How has the cold and flu season been this year so far?
Not bad.
Not bad, right? I've noticed. I haven't seen that many sick people. What I've seen going around, and my wife had it, and a couple of people that have come through here have had it.
Stomach virus.
No, sinus.
Sinus.
There's some head thing going on, and they all have the same symptoms. I hear them talking about it, and I'm like, what's that? But that's good to hear that nobody.
Yeah.
I haven't seen really the sick stomach virus thing. Maybe you have.
Yeah, we're starting to see some. That's going around now.
Yeah,
that's coming around. Yeah.
Explain to everyone how this happens every season with flu season. Why does it resurrect itself this time of year every time of the year? What's causing that?
Well, a lot of it's just the windows are closed and the bugs get to grow and and we expose each other. So that's probably part of the theory.
So that was, and you say stuff like that, and then we were just talking about COVID, and the one thing they told you during COVID is don't leave the house, stay locked in your house with 15 people. That might have been a bad thing, right?
Yeah,
that might not have been a good suggestion. Yeah, okay, good, thank you. That's what I thought at the time, and I was like, I don't know, maybe outside, fresh air, but what do I know?
Well, and which is what I did. I went hiking. I would get out and just get some fresh air.
Sun. Vitamin D, very powerful.
D. There you go.
Touch some grass. It's not that bad.
No.
Another thing that you do at your practice, and a lot of practices do this now, and explain to me the tie-in here. Aesthetics.
Yes.
You do
Yeah.
aesthetics. You do some laser hair
We do
removal
laser
and
hair.
injectables.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen this trend. You know, full disclosure, I've a social media agency, she's one of my clients. And I have a lot of medical clients, and I've seen dentists bring that into their practice. I've seen
Which
doctors.
is kind of weird, right?
It is. Hi, I'm going to rip out your tooth, and now I'm going to give you some, get rid
Yeah,
of your
I want to
crow's
have your
feet.
fine lines.
Yeah.
It's different.
It's
okay.
true. It's different. And I'm going to be honest, in the dentist world, it hasn't picked up as much as obviously, you're going in there with a different
Weird.
mindset.
I
But
haven't seen radiologists do it.
radiologists?
Yeah, like
people that do the x-rays?
Yes.
Oh, hold on. So
I
let
know.
me
It's pretty-
x-ray your lungs and let me give you some
Yes.
filler for your cheeks.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
What I think I know what the reasoning for that is. It's a medical procedure. You're injecting somebody with something. It's cash. That's a big thing, right? People paying cash for this kind of thing. That's not covered by insurance.
No. But
okay.
people want that. I mean, like if they're internally want to be healthy, they want to look healthy as well too.
Yeah.
So
and inside and out.
there was a demand for that. They're like,
Really?
you don't do that now? All right. So yeah,
People were asking for it.
they were asking.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, the injectable, the aesthetics world is a multi-billion-dollar industry. People just want to look good, feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would have never thought it. But now I've seen it all over the place. You have it and everything else. You have injectables, so you do, kind of get the face. And something else too, with the injectables. Have you seen a tie-in with like the GLP-1s and that? Like, are people coming in with like the Ozempic face and look, and they're like, I need to? Is that triggering an increase in that, or no? Do you see that where you are?
Not too much. Not too much.
Okay.
I mean, with the GLP-1s, we have patients come in, we do body composition analysis. We want to make sure they're not losing muscle. And that's the problem. That's why you get that face, is if you're losing muscle. Because if you don't eat, the first thing you're going to lose is muscle before the fat. So we encourage them to make sure that they're getting enough protein. And we look at, like I said, we do a body composition analysis where if they're losing are they losing muscle in their legs or their arms? So we focus on weight training for their upper body or lower body or core, so that doesn't happen. And we want it to be a slow process. If it's a fast process, that's where you're going to get that like droopy. Yeah.
What are
not
your
looking
feelings now that we're on the GLP-1s? That's a huge thing, especially with my agency. The last 3 years, we've been pushing the GLP-1s with a ton of clients. What are your feelings on that? I mean,
I think it's good for certain people. Sometimes it's a jump start. They realize that you don't need that big plate to feel full or for your body to function. You can function on a small amount.
Yeah.
So that
So it really helps with portion control.
Yeah, it's an educational thing.
Okay.
Plus, we combine it with natural GLP-1s. Like, for instance, fiber can be a natural GLP-1.
Sure.
It helps you feel full, which is what they do. So we always like to do it in conjunction because, yes, you may have to live on it, but if we can get you off of it, that's our ultimate goal, is to not rely on medication.
And if people don't know it, and correct me if I'm wrong, the GLP-1s were initially for high sugar.
Yeah, for diabetics. Yes.
Diabetics. And just like with the Viagra, they're like, oh, it does something else. Like Viagra was a heart pill, right? Initially. And then they're like, oh, it does something else. And I guess they figured out on this, that helps you lose weight, which makes sense.
Yeah, because a lot of the diabetics, if they lost the weight, they probably wouldn't need it. So, so that's how that came about.
And you talk about the muscle loss. That is in itself a big, huge problem, right? You fix one problem. Yes, I lost weight, but now if I stand up, I might snap some bone in my body or something.
Exactly. And your heart, back to the heart again.
Yeah.
The heart's a muscle, so you got to be really careful with that.
Oh, wow. All right, so we've got aesthetics. Oh, you do the laser hair removal. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
The laser veins.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. You see that as you get older, people get them in their legs a lot. What exactly, and this is funny, I've been running ads to sell this service for so long. I'm curious. What exactly is the laser doing when it keys in on the blue of that? What gets rid of it?
It's just those very small vessels. It's not like a varicose vein.
Sure.
So that's different. So it's just so small, and it literally just fries them. It just burns them, and it collapses the vessel. And that's what it does.
And that's what's going on, is that they're inflamed.
Yeah, well, they're dilated. So then you just literally burn it with the laser, and it shrinks.
And that doesn't affect the flow in general.
No, because that's
No.
your larger vessels will do that.
Gotcha. All right. So what else do we do at the
What else
practice?
do we
It's
do?
opening.
I
What else
don't
you
know.
do? You do
I don't know what else. What else do we do?
27
We
years.
do, high cholesterol, high blood pressure.
Let me ask you a question. Another one. Curious about. Is there anything in the medical practice in the 27 years you've been doing this that you were doing at one point and then all of a sudden it was like, oh no, reverse, that's bad. Like, and in general, not just you, but
Yeah.
in the industry at whole, is there one thing that comes to mind that like you were going down one road and then you realized, and the whole industry shifted? Something that you did. I'll give you an example.
Give
And
me
we
an
were just saying this before we walked in here. I was telling her about my uncle. He was a big pediatrician. He was old school, old Italian guy. Walk into the room with the cigar in his mouth and he's smoking. 5 out of 10, doctors recommend Marlboro and all of that. We all know that was down the run.
Oh,
That's the extreme of one end of it.
Dating us here.
Yeah, I know, but it's true. You're like, oh, it must be good. Let me have a whole pack.
Yeah.
But is there something along those lines that you remember now that other people might remember that really switched the game a little bit?
I guess I wasn't like, maybe a huge fan of mammograms, and now with the recent studies, and the low dose of the radiation, that I'm more of a proponent of it because it is saving lives.
Okay.
And it's picking up cancers on stage 0 or stage 1 as opposed to 2 or 3 if you wait.
So initially,
So maybe
you
I
weren't
wasn't
a fan of mammograms.
I was no. I was never like no mammograms.
Yeah.
I never was that.
What
but
was your hesitation?
I
towards-
wasn't like, oh, you got to go every year, or you got to like.
Gotcha.
I didn't really push my patients, but now I
Yeah.
feel like, you know what? It's saving lives. We got to do it.
The risk is it's low on the low end for that. What is that?
Yeah.
How long is a mammogram? What, a minute or 2 or 3?
Not even seconds. It's
Seconds.
seconds. Yeah.
And it's just like kind of a
Yeah,
focus radiation into one area.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you're going to get more radiation if you fly.
True. Yeah.
So,
My father-in-law yesterday actually went in. He's getting radiation for his colon area. They're
Mhm.
taking care of that. And he's got to go 28 days in a row. That's a different obvious thing
Yeah.
that's going on. But yeah, I mean, I guess concentrated short amounts of it. I guess that was the hesitation earlier. Was that
Yeah.
anytime
well, because years ago it used to be.
it was heavy amounts of radiation.
It
It wasn't
was.
as focused.
Yeah.
That's what's gotten better is that you can actually zero the stream of radiation into an area
Yeah.
where I guess before it was more kind of we're going to put you in
Yes.
a bubble of radiation
Right.
and
Right.
if
It
it
just
finds
radiate everything, collateral damage. You know.
yeah, exactly. What are your feelings on chemotherapy? Now that we're on the radiation and stuff like that,
Time and place.
There's
Time and place. You got to do it. Like
Yeah.
for me, if I had cancer, like I would say, all right, just do what you have to do. And then and that's what I do with my patients. I was like, if you go to Sloan, follow it. Follow
Yeah.
what they're saying. And then come to me when they're done. And then we'll worry about, your vitamins, nutrition, boost your immune system. Because what is cancer? It's the immune system that broke down. Those cells that were supposed to be eaten up by our immune system because they look at bad cells just kind of broke down.
Yeah.
And so we focus on, boosting the immune system afterwards. We do high dose vitamin C drips because we know that high dose vitamin C kills cancer cells.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a fan, like I said, time and place.
One of the things, and I'm doing this now. We're sitting on television, but I work on a computer all day long. I'm sitting down. One of the things you hear on the internet, and don't trust
Oh,
the
God.
internet anyone, but they're saying that lifestyle, that what is it called? When you're doing nothing, whatever it's called. I can't-
Sedentary?
Sedentary.
Okay.
You're sedentary, right? Is causing more cancer down in the.
Well, just a sedentary lifestyle in general is
causes
not
that.
good.
Why? What is that?
I mean,
how does
we
that
were-
equal cancer though? Like being
We were supposed to be active human beings. And, like,
hunters.
hunters, men were supposed to go out, and bring in the food. The women were taking care of making the food. Now everything's fast food. There's food at our disposal.
Yeah.
And our body doesn't realize that. So what does it do? It holds on to the, nutrients and nutrition that we give it.
Yeah.
So that's why we're seeing obesity so high.
So
and what
there's
does that do? Creates inflammation.
And that causes the
Inflammation
cancer.
causes, whether it's cancer, heart disease, it's the root to a lot of illnesses.
That and say the word inflammation. That's another key. You're right. That's
Yeah,
one of
you
the
see.
steps that takes you to the next bad step, right? So things
Yeah.
started getting inflamed.
Yeah, why is
as-
somebody inflamed?
yeah.
And there's different parts. You know, you can have your thyroid inflamed, you can have your heart inflamed. So we do inflammatory markers to see what you're at risk of developing.
Inflammatory markers. So I guess that's like a blood test, or
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yep.
and it
Yeah.
kind of and there's certain things you see in that blood. You're like, all right, we've got
Mm-hmm.
to start now. That's interesting. So in those markers, when you do something like that and you draw blood, you have to be looking for something specifically, or is there some way that you review it and you're like, we weren't looking for this, but we found this? Like,
No, you got to look for it.
you got to look for it. So
Yeah.
things have to be done for a
Yeah.
specific reason. So you
Mm-hmm.
could be getting blood drawn and looking at one thing this whole time, and you could have this whole other problem that if you're not looking for it,
Exactly.
wow,
Exactly.
that's interesting.
And, you know, a lot of patients, like, there's a joke at my office, like, oh, we're draining your blood, because we do take lots of vials
Yeah,
because we're looking.
yeah.
And most docs, you know, they just do basic blood work and they're not looking for it. So they're not going to find it. They're not going to talk to you about it.
So I like to simplify things. So I guess blood is like the oil in your car. Like, can you tell? Like, I don't know. Like,
All right.
no.
I guess.
Well, I guess
don't
like
know.
what?
Maybe
You-
it's your gauges. It's the gauges. I don't.
it's telling
because-
you what's going on.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, I would think it would be more like that.
Something like that. Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. How important is drinking water every day? A lot
very,
of water. Very
very
water. I don't drink
important.
none of it, and
Yeah, that's not good.
that's not good, right?
No.
Why is it not good?
Well, because most of your body is water. You know, inside your cells, outside of your cells, your blood.
Mhm.
Your body's primarily water.
And it needs it. Needs
And
to
it
keep
needs
replenishing it.
Yeah. And it needs good water, not like tap water with all poisons and chemicals and pollutants.
Oh,
in
like
it.
Gatorade either? I can't just be
Yeah,
living off
no.
Gatorade? No, that's not good?
No.
Damn.
Mm-mm.
All right, I guess my wife's right. She walks around one of those Stanley things. She goes like
Good
3 or
girl.
4 of them a day, and I'm like,
I'm going to love your wife. I love her
I know.
already.
I go, you're going to get a UTI. She's like, what's that? I'm like, yeah, you're
No,
gonna
she's
know.
not going to get a UTI because she's drinking.
Well,
Just think about stagnant water. Think
Yeah.
about stagnant water. What happens? Like fungus
Yeah.
and mold and
and that's going on in your body if you
bacteria.
don't keep it replenished.
Right. Yeah, you got to clean it out.
Oh, boy. All right, I got to start drinking water,
All
I
right,
guess.
start drinking.
So coffee's
Yeah, no.
no? No.
No.
Let me ask you a question. Do you guys put together nutritional plans for your patients?
We do.
You do?
We do. Yeah.
Like basically like day to day, week to week, month
Yeah.
to month type of things?
So now what I'm starting in my practice is a personalized wellness program
Okay.
where with a membership we'll sit down and implement a plan. So what are you going to do for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? How are you going to reduce stress in your life? How are you going to implement an exercise program?
Mm-hmm.
So we put it into action. You know, with what we have now, prior to this plan, it was just, okay, we have 10 minutes to spend together. This is a diet that I want you to have. This is the exercise program
Yeah.
you're going to do. And I'll see you in 3 months.
Yeah.
But now I'll be able to spend time with them, half hour up to an hour, and really implementing that plan. So we're going to be doing that more.
How much of your job is really being like a drill sergeant to your patients? Like, you have to do this stuff. Like you can give them, you could bring a horse to water,
Yeah.
but you can't have them drink it. So
Right,
how
yeah.
much of that is going on at the practice?
I mean, I don't know if it's that. I think I want to say, like, I feel like I'm a teacher.
There you go.
Like, here's the information, and then you get to decide whether or not you want to implement
If
it.
you want to sit in the back of the class and pick your nose all day, that's fine on you. But hey,
That's
I
right.
gave it to you.
Right,
That's
right,
good.
right.
Right? Oh, that's good. I know. I'm the same way. What is it about men that hate the doctors? Have you noticed that where you are? How is your patient base split wise, percentage wise?
It's probably
Women, men?
like 3/4 women.
It is.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Because guys don't give a
they
shit.
don't want to come. But I rely on the women to bring it home to the men. And,
Yeah, and scare the shit out of them.
because the men, like, as far as diet, they're not going to cook. Most men don't cook. And so it's the woman of the house that runs the house, really, right?
No, yeah. My father made a mean cornflakes cereal. That's it. That was his major thing. He wasn't a cook and a kind of.
He didn't barbecue. A lot of guys barbecue.
No. I picked a little bit of that up, like where I could cook a little bit, but I'm my father's son. I just whatever. Duct tape and cereal. Let's go. Let's rock.
Yeah, no processed foods.
Now, what you were talking about for the personalized, is that part of the concierge medicine?
Concierge, yeah, it would be another term for it. Yeah.
Concierge medicine, or we were calling it something else.
Wellness program.
Wellness program.
Executive
Now,
health.
concierge, if you don't know, if anybody's watching this is like she said, a personalized program, like where
Mhm.
you're on a membership plan,
Mhm.
basically. Um, and is that something that's new to the industry, to the medical industry, or
It's fairly new, but it's been around probably like 10 or 15 years in certain
okay,
populations. But it's becoming more and more popular because, doctors are done. Like they're done with this quick 5-10 minute visits and here, take this drug and see you later. Like they want to spend time with them. You know, most doctors, I think, want to spend time with their patients, get to know them,
yeah, right, like that's
and understand where they're coming from. I mean, that's just correct medicine.
I always tell this story is my wife has asthma,
Hmm.
right, and it's funny, like when you get to know somebody, right? She couldn't breathe. We went to the hospital in Hoboken. They did test and test and test and test. And I know my wife, she gets nervous. So like on the third day, after 1,000 tests, and I don't know how much we spent, covered by the insurance, I was looking at her, I go, are you tense right now? And she's like, yeah. And because every day they would keep having her blow the thing, see if it gets to a certain point so they could release her.
Yeah, yes.
I said, I think this is caused by stress again. Like you're just nervous that you're in a hospital and you can't
Right,
get
yeah.
past it. I go, what's the things called that kind of relax you?
Like Xanax or
Xanax. I go to the front nurse. I go, I think my wife's very nervous. Can you give her some Xanax? Could you prescribe? And sure, no problem. She takes it. Within 3 hours, she goes to blow the thing again. Boom,
boom.
we're released in the next 6 hours. I go,
Right.
oh, I had to figure this out.
Right.
Right. But goes to the point of that personalized medicine. Unless you're
Mhm.
spending time with someone
Yeah.
more than every 3 months or 6 months,
Yeah.
how the hell would you know that?
No, you
Right?
wouldn't. You
You're
wouldn't.
going through
No.
everybody, and it's no fault of the doctor. It's like you're seeing so many people. You can't literally, and it's nothing that a chart can tell you either.
Right.
Right? You just got to, if you see somebody monthly, you're like, you seem a little off this month. Why?
Yeah.
Right? Opposed to, oh, I saw you last year. I don't know
Yeah.
what the hell happened.
They're not going to remember you.
No.
I mean, well, just and why is that? Why are doctors spending less time? That and the reason is, the insurance companies, especially Medicare, they've cut our rates by 33% in the last 25 years. So I was making more money per office visit when I opened my practice than I am now. So what do doctors do? Well, they have to see more patients just to maintain their salary. So that's why everybody's rushed now compared to what it was. And they're talking about cutting us our fees even more. So how can you really get to know that patient? Not to mention documentation, and it's all about stats and reporting your stats to the insurance companies.
It's all become very administrative.
Very
Administrative. Now, let me ask you a question. How, and I see that in the education system too, a lot of these key parts of our culture that are
Yeah.
very important to us, health and education,
Yeah.
what is causing that administrative kind of buildup that ruins the whole industry?
I
That
know.
that personal experience with your doctor, your teacher. Well, when did in 27 years, when did you see this crossover really take hold?
I mean, it's been gradual. I can't talk about the education, although
Yeah.
I do talk to a lot of my patients who are teachers.
Yeah.
But as far as from the medical standpoint, like they want to know what percentage of your patients go for mammograms. And in that percentage, what are we diagnosing? What stage are we diagnosing? Which I get. We all
Yeah.
need that. But it should be more computerized in that, like if I submit a claim that someone's got stage 0 breast cancer, they should be able to equate, well, they went for their mammograms, but they don't. It's not that developed yet.
Okay.
So we have to do the reporting for the insurance companies to see like and what percentage
So
of
they can pay you
patients-
less.
So they can pay us less, yes.
See, I'm not. I
It's
think it is
just
a businessman, and I'm like, that
crazy.
sound
Yeah,
right.
It's so sad. It really is.
Yeah.
And, I just want to be like my family doctor was to me. Like he
Isn't
knew
that
our
great?
entire family.
No, I remember as a little kid I hated needles,
Mhm.
and my uncle and his 2 nurses would have to run around the office trying to chase me out. I love those moments. I remember those
Yeah, you
moments
remember
because they're
'em.
personalized. Yeah, I hated it at the time, but there was a personal touch. They knew you. They knew who you were.
Mhm.
All right. I just, anything else you want to tell everybody about what you do, your practice, and
Well, like I said, I'm so looking forward to my new wellness program and my new phase, I guess, in life, and being able to take care of a limited number of patients, but really getting to know them.
quality, not
Well,
quantity.
Yes, and it took me a long time to come to this decision. It really did because I know that not everyone was going to participate. And I had to have a plan for them. So the backup plan was to have them see Celie and Elaine, my nurse practitioner and physician assistant,
Okay.
so they could see them. And so I didn't want to leave them out with nobody to take care of them.
No, sure. I mean, like everybody's
So-
different, and people get nervous. They change,
Yes.
kind of trips them
Yeah.
up. But I bet, and I guarantee it, once this really starts cooking with gas here, this program, you're going to see a lot of those people switch over.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
you know, they get used to one thing, and that's the one thing I saw with like COVID again is like a lot of people are very in their ways when it comes to medicine, right?
Mhm.
Just the way it was. I don't want to change it and everything. When change might be the best thing you could do,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and by change we mean like talk with your doctor more,
Right.
right? Like
What a concept.
Hello, wow. You know, maybe they'll learn some more than the 5 minutes they're with you. Oh, this is great, Dr. Nancy. I'm so happy you came through.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
No, thank you. Everything was good. You were
Yeah.
calm. I know you're very nervous about this.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
This is our first doctor,
Oh,
real doctor.
well, okay.
And that's it. And we'll remember you forever. This is the episode of Mr. Big Mouth. Thank you. I will link to Dr. Nancy's office in the description. You can go check her out if you're in the New Jersey area. I highly recommend her. Talk to you later.